Alright, so we're going to be doing a review of Rocket Raccoon Big River Score. Now, normally I would have the book with me, but here's the thing. It's part of this big beefy bastard. Yep, so this was the entire Guardians of the Galaxy by Al Ewing, all in one comic, like all in one trade. This was sent to me by my good friend Chris. Chris, thank you once again. I will be doing like a full-on review of the Guardians of the Galaxy Al Ewing run, the entire Al Ewing run. I'll be reviewing this, but the thing is the Rocket Raccoon miniseries came first. This is the thing. That's the thing Al Ewing did first before his run, and it does tie into that. I was thinking of just doing a full-on run, just doing the entire Al Ewing run in its entirety, but I was like, you know what? There's enough of Rocket Raccoon. There's enough stuff with Rocket in here that I was like, all right, I'll do a review of Rocket Raccoon's miniseries first, and then I'll review the entirety of the Al Ewing run. I would love to get the Donny Cates run, because that's all collected too. I would absolutely love to get the entirety of Donny Cates' run too, because as you know, Donny Cates is one of my favorite writers, and I do have a few of his separate issues before I had to stop collecting separate issues. But yeah, Donny Cates is one of my favorite writers, and I really dug what he was doing with Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, so this is Rocket Raccoon the Blue River Score. So what is Rocket Raccoon the Blue River Score? This is basically that Rocket is on his own little solo he's on his own little solo mission, and in that he's just off getting drunk, and then he meets one of his former lovers, Ada, who is an otter much like Floor. But the thing is that she's kind of like a femme fatale kind of character and dupes Rocket into stealing the deed for a planet that she's a native of, tricks him to steal it for her employer, and now Rocket's kind of on the run and dealing with all kinds of crazy shit. Shenanigans involved. Also, if you're wondering, well, why aren't the Guardians helping him? Like, where are the Guardians of the Galaxy while he's doing all this? Because the Guardians are kind of, like, not on good terms. They're not really on, like, the best of terms right now. And Rocket needs some alone time. Like, even he says, yeah, I need some alone time away from my friends because, like, they are a little much. And I just got back from, almost dying, so I need some alone time. But unfortunately, that alone time also involves a group of bounty hunters called the Technex, who are time-traveling bounty hunters. And also, we have a team-up with Deadpool in here, who is also very depressed and suicidal, and just decided to go out into space, because that's what you do in comics. This is right after Secret Empire, where Deadpool got duped by evil Captain America to kill innocent people. So now he's like, everyone hates me, I'm just gonna run off world for a bit and hang out with Rocket. It's actually a lot more depressing. So this comic does have, what I like about it is that it has, these long lines of text to explain what's going on, like the inner monologue. It's very much like a pulp novel, but it's a pulp novel by way of heavy metal. Not the music genre, I'm talking the magazine. By the way, does anyone know if Al Ewing has written anything for heavy metal or Judge Dredd? Because seriously, there are I would love to see Al Ewing write some stories for heavy metal. I wonder if he has. But yeah, I think he proves it, and I can't wait to see what he does in Guardians of the Galaxy. But I was like, this guy would be really good at doing, Judge Dredd, or I think Al Ewing has written Judge Dredd comics. Now that I think about it, I think he did write Judge Dredd comics. But has he written anything for heavy metal? I don't know, but he would be absolutely perfect for heavy metal. Yeah, the comic is It's kind of this dirty drawing. Also, there's some great stuff in here where Rocket has to defend himself in court, and the person who goes to help him is... Hang on, let me just get the name out, because it's this species that can, smell, heartbeats and whatnot, and there's this other character called... this character, Rocket's defender, is Froderick Froggy Frelson, and his species can't see; they can only hear sound. But then he has his partner, Murd Blurdock, who's this chameleon alien who can actually, who due to an accident can see things. And there's also no correlation with this being called what'd they call him? Seeing guy. Yeah. Yeah. And they also make a little jest at the twin brother thing going on in Chip Zdarsky's run. It's a whole thing. Yeah, and there's also a fun, like, there's clear jabs at Daredevil here. It's hilarious. It's kind of hilarious. But yeah, this comic does not take itself seriously, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that happens in here in Rocket's comic that is really, like, depressing. Like I talked about when he teams up with Deadpool for an issue, they meet a being who is, like, really a fungus who takes over Deadpool's mind, and Deadpool is just doing this with Rocket, and he's like, I'm doing this for friends, and Rocket's like, we're not friends, and Deadpool's inner monologue, and Wade's inner monologue is like, please just let me pretend, just for a little bit. And I'm like, oh, Wade, I kind of I wouldn't be opposed to Ewing writing a Deadpool miniseries now, because he really knows how to and this is what a lot of writers forget about Deadpool, is that not only is he funny, he's tragic. He's, like, tragically funny. I think Ewing understood that and ran with it, so that was really good. All in all, it's a pretty fun series. I don't know if it's still if this Rocket Raccoon story is still in trade, but if you can find it, cool. It is part of the massive Al Ewing trade paperback here, and that's about $50. But don't worry, I will be covering the rest of his Guardians of the Galaxy run. I just thought this would be a nice little, like, quick story to review, because it's kind of its own thing, but does have building blocks for the rest of his run, so yeah. Anyway, all in all, pretty fun story, and Chris, thank you once again for this comic. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.